Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Zohar connection. Happy birthday, dear Homajun. The weekly Zohar connection is the energy, the weekly energy we are connecting to. With tools such as Kabbalah, the Zohar, and the Torah, we are trying to decode, to understand the wisdom, the secrets, the energy of this week. That's going to help us to grow, become stronger, healthier, happier. This week, Torah portion is Yitro. Yitro is the father-in-law of Moshe. And this portion, this Torah portion, we are receiving the 10 Commandments. We are receiving the Torah. This is the highest level of connection humanity ever had with the Creator, with the light. It's a very powerful portion, many secrets. In the past years, we talked in detail about all the commandments. I highly recommend, if you were not here last year, go back to eretzculturalcenter.org, the portion Yitro, 2017 and 16, and we're going to study about different angles of this portion. Tonight, we're going to talk about the truth. What is the truth? Truth is the fastest way to fulfillment. I repeat, when we were at the bottom of Mount Sinai, when the Creator revealed Himself and we received the 10 Commandments and the Torah, we experienced, we saw the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is the fastest way to fulfillment. The fastest way to joy, the fastest way to health, the fastest way to happiness. So if I have access to the truth, then I'm going to have a happier, healthier, joyful life. And these 10 Commandments and the byproduct of it, the Torah, is trying to teach us the truth, trying to show us the truth. On Mount Sinai, 3,400 years ago, there was a moment. Also, they call this portion, or they call this revelation, immortality. So we're going to learn also what immortality means. What does it mean, immortality? So 3,400 years ago, there was a moment that all of us, the whole Bnei Israel, they were one, they were unity, they were maximum amount of love, care for each other, no limitations. We were all one, united as one body, one person. The maximum of care and love and passion and mercy for each other. And there was no limitation, no Satan, no death. And it didn't last because in the last 6 hours we messed up. You know, in the last 6 hours before Moshe came, you know, there's a story of the golden calf. But there is no doubt that we all were there and we experienced it. And deep down within our soul, the impression of it is still with us. I remember as a kid when we watched the movie of 10 Commandments, wow, it was such a big deal. The whole family and kids, and we just loved this movie. Somehow, not our body, our soul remembers it. You know, it left the impression forever. And why we are always searching for love? Why we are always searching for unity? Because we experienced that moment. We know how great it feels, and we want it back again. all this journey we choose is in order for us to get back to that amazing feeling one time we had. No death, no darkness, no end, no separation, nothing negative, only pure light, because the truth revealed itself. You know, we always crave that unity again. We crave that oneness. We crave that love. We crave that connection. And it's coming from the impression that moment left for us forever. So, such a big deal of a portion, such a big deal of a Torah, and they name it Yitro, the father-in-law of Moshe. They couldn't name it Moshe or the Creator or the Ten Commandments. They couldn't. There were so many possibilities. And Yitro, we know, he was an advisor to Pharaoh. He was priest of the negative side. He was priest. He was Kohen Midian. He was the priest for dark people. And such a portion with such a light, they name. They call him a stranger, a ger, a stranger to this wisdom and knowledge, and we're going to find out why. And not only Yitro, and the reason they name this portion after him, because he changed himself. He changed himself from being the priest of darkness to become part of Moshe's movement. He realized that, you know, what he was doing is wrong, and he wanted to follow the truth, the emet. He realized that whatever he was doing was wrong, was fake, was an illusion. And later on in the class, in the second part of the class, we're going to talk deep Kabbalah about who Moshe is and who Yitro is, what's the reincarnation. It's a very interesting part. So again, we are trying to find out what is this truth is, because that's the fastest way to fulfillment for us. So the Torah, and not only the name of the portion is Yitro, the huge section of the beginning of the Torah is talking about Yitro. Only toward the end we are receiving the Ten Commandments. And the Zohar says a fascinating thing. He says, if Yitro wouldn't convert himself, wouldn't change himself, wouldn't join Moshe, we wouldn't receive the Torah. Can you imagine? You know, just because we were 600,000 Bnei Israel, but we had to wait for Yitro to change himself in order to receive the Torah. And not only Yitro joined us, all the millions of people that they were following him, you know, they transferred too, they changed too. The explanation is that such a huge light of the Torah of the Creator was going to reveal itself. It was necessary for a huge vessel to be there to receive it. So the 600,000 was not enough. So not only Yitro joined the millions of his followers, they join Moshe in order for us to receive the Torah. I know it's a story, but later on when we get to the psychology part of it, it's all going to make sense. So he was a stranger. Not only he was a stranger, and they named the Torah portion after him, Moshe asked Yitro to become his advisor, his top advisor. So, you know, last year we spoke about one of the good qualities of Yitro is that he was listening. Like Muhammad says, the Torah portion starts with Vayishma Yitro. Yitro was listening. So one of the first lessons is that we hear a lot of the wisdom about the Torah. We hear a lot about the wisdom of Kabbalah and the Zohar. But are you honestly listening to it? So we're going to learn tonight what's the difference between hearing and listening. That's another lesson of tonight. And the Zohar says, what does it take? We're going to read that part. What does it take to honestly listen, not just hear? And You know, Moshe is such a huge soul. He knows it all. Honestly, he needed advisor. So what is Moshe trying to teach us? The biggest, the most smartest human being on the planet. Does he need an advisor? And we're going to learn the secret behind that too. So it's a nice story, but now we're going to learn, you know, we want to learn what it has to do with us. Who is Moshe within us? Who is Yitro within us? What I'm supposed to do with this weak energy, the 10 Commandments. What's that? How can I join that fastest road to fulfillment? How can I know about the truth? So we're going to read from the Zohar. I think we're going to end the 10 minutes because we're going to start reading the Zohar. You know what? Let's put in the Zohar also on the Facebook since we have enough time. So we are in book number 10, page number 15, section 28. Don't cross your hands, don't cross your legs. We're going to read this section of the Zohar with this consciousness that we want to listen. We want to bring in this wisdom, not only hear a temporary. וישמע יתרו וגומר, וכי יתרו שמע, והכל עלמא לא שמעו, והכתיב שמעו עמי מרגזון, אלא כל עלמא שמעו, ולא אדברו, ואייהו שמע ואדבר, ואתקריה מקמיה דקודשה בריחו, והתקרב לדחילתיה. When Yitro, he asked, only Jethro heard, while the rest of the world did not hear? Is it not written, the people shall hear and be afraid? He answers, indeed, the whole world did hear, but they were not broken. Therefore, it was as if they did not hear. But he heard and was broken, and yielded before the Holy One, blessed be He, and was brought near, fearing Him. Therefore, he is in need a hearing. So, the Zohar tells us, in order for us to listen, in order for us to honestly take in this wisdom, is that we have to be broken. You know, if I believe that I know it all, if I think I'm smart, by the way, we are in a portion of Shovavim, these 6 or 8 weeks that we started the Shemot, that want to teach us the wisdom above our own wisdom. If I think I know it all, if I think I'm the smartest guy, if I think I study enough, and there are other wisdom there that guiding me, and I don't need to learn anything, according to the Zohar, I'm not broken. Broken means that I'm open to let this wisdom to come in. You know, it takes outside force, it takes a certain consequence in our life in order for us to be broken. I started Kabbalah in 2005 because I was broken at that time. If I was exposed to this in 2003, maybe I wouldn't even follow it because I was not broken. So it takes a broken heart, it takes a broken mind to start letting in information to come in, to this wisdom to come in. What was broken about Yitro? He realized all the wisdom he has, all the knowledge he has, is nothing compared to the miracles and all the goodness that the Creator showed Moshe and his followers. He was broken because he realized he was in a wrong path. Then he started listening. If we don't realize that the path we choose is not taking us anywhere, it's not the path of the truth, then we are broken, in the language of the Zohar, to allow this wisdom to come in. I think we have reached the 10 minutes. It's a wonderful class. I highly recommend whoever is watching to follow in eresculturecenter.org. All the classes are there. Thank you. So, all of us, we are here because some part in our journey we felt we are broken. You know, the wisdom that we have is not complete. So, Yitro is such a huge character in the Torah because he was doing what he was doing for 30, 40 years. He had million followers. But when he saw the 10 plagues in Egypt, when he saw the opening of sea, when he saw the fight with Amalek, that Bnei Israel are capable of fighting their own fears, their own doubts, their own limitation, their own anger and hate, he realized that he's in a wrong path. And he switched over to work with Moshe. You know, listening has its own character. Listening has its own barrier and curtains. Human nature is that as long as I hear things within my comfort zone, I'm open to listen, I'm open to hear it. If it goes behind my comfort zone, if it goes behind my barrier and behind my curtains, then I said, you know, thank you very much, it was a good class, have a nice day, and we walk away. So we have to, what the Torah is trying to teach us is that our hearing, our listening has a conscience. We choose and pick what we want to hear, what we want to listen. If it goes behind my comfort zone, if it goes behind my belief system, if it goes behind my understanding, if it goes behind image, they use this word image and we're going to explain about it, we don't want to hear it, we don't want to listen to it. But as long as we are not broken, we have this limitation. But when we are broken, when we realize that our path is not the right path, then we remove these barriers, we remove these curtains, and let information comes in. What the Zohar is trying to do is trying to save us before we get broken, before we get hurt, emotionally or physically. We should remove these barriers. We should remove these curtains from the consciousness hearing that we have and let the information comes in. In another language, Yitro craved the truth. And this is what we should do. We should crave the truth. What does it mean to crave the truth? It's like, I really want to know my purpose in life. I really know what my job is. I want to know the truth. What's this limitation, God forbid, somebody has in healing, in health, or in business, or in relationships. So I want to know the truth. Over the years, we know this physical world is an illusion, is a movie. So we want to know the truth behind it. What is my purpose? What is the rules of the game? What is the creator? What's the createe? That's the truth. So as long as I have my own barriers and my own understanding and my own comfort zone, I won't be open to the truth. So letting the truth to come in, we have to go beyond our comfort zone, beyond our image. What does it mean to have an image? I have an image, I have certain position, I have a certain look, I have a certain society level, my belief system, my background, that's my image. If I want to stick to my image, and if I don't want to change it, then I won't be able to remove these barriers. I remember, you know, many years ago when we start studying Kabbalah, they tagged us. You become religious, you become fanatic, you know, because we had to change our image. You know, now this wisdom opens such a blessing to our life only because we change our image. They can call us whatever they want, but we have such a blessing in our life. So we have to be willing to change our image. We have to be willing to remove this barrier of our hearing. To be open to this wisdom, not to choose and pick, not to say some of it is good, some of it is bad. So go behind our comfort hearing. And this Yitro, he was the top advisor, top 3 advisor of Pharaoh. There was Yitro, Ayub, and Bilam. They were the top advisor of Yitro. And you know, Yitro he left Egypt long time ago. Long time in Israel, they left Egypt. So the Kabbalists explain why Yitro left Pharaoh. The moment the Pharaoh gave the order to kill the firstborn, Yitro left. He said, that doesn't make sense. It can't be the truth. It can't be the truth. This universe, this world cannot advise killing a firstborn. So the moment Pharaoh gave that order, he left. He left Pharaoh. He said, this is not the path I want to be at. This is not the life I want to choose for myself. So there is a moment in our life that Pharaoh in our head, that negative force in our head, taking us to places that totally doesn't make sense, totally beyond the logic of this universe. It could be the byproduct of hate and anger that we practice. So we have to realize that where this negative force in our head is taking us, and we want to switch to the other side. We want to be the soldier of light and Moshe. So there is many real levels of how we can switch to this truth. We can find out about this truth, the truth that was available in Mount Sinai. So first we have to have the true desire for the truth. We have to have a true desire for the truth. Be open. And it's very scary. It's not simple. Can you imagine Yitro for 4 years? He was the high priest. He had 1 million followers. He says, no, that's enough. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to switch over. That's scary. It's scary for us to admit, something's wrong with my life. Something is not going in the right way. And I want to switch to the path of the truth. So we have to have a true desire for the truth. Again, what is my purpose in this life? Who are my children? Who's my husband? Who's my wife? What's their job? Why I end up in this class? Why I end up in this country? Like Rabbi Berg says, we deserve to know the truth. We deserve to know the truth. And the only way to reach the truth is by having a desire for it. And strong commitment. I truly admire you guys. You guys are so committed to this class and to this center. That is what it takes to find the truth. If you think you are just a nice guy and you're kind and you're loving, that's wonderful. But that won't take you to the truth. The truth is a commitment and having a strength about it. Be part of this movement, be part of the Torah, so we can find the truth. So the first rule is true desire for the truth. The second rule is daily reflection. Daily reflection. What feels right? What feels wrong in my life? And I need assistance. I have to daily reflection means I need assistance from the universe. I need assistance from the Creator to help me find this truth. Daily reflection. It's a very powerful sentence. It says, if you don't have the daily reflection to have a desire to know the truth, my own mind, gonna deceive me, gonna take me to the wrong direction again. How many of us experience, we study Kabbalah, we study Zohar, the moment we do business, the moment we deal with the family, all the anger, all the hate, all the judging comes out again. So we need this daily reflection to remind us that this powerful negative force is not going to deceive us. It's not going to take us back to point zero again. It's a very powerful energy that is never ever going to leave us. It's going to be with us forever. So as long as I'm not dealing with this daily reflection, that energy can deceive me, take me away. And there is a beautiful point why Moshe took Yitro as an advisor, because we have our own agenda. We have our own set of rules. Again, rules and agenda and policies that can deceive us and take us back to wrong places. So by reflecting daily, by communicating with classmates, by opening the notes, by following the classes, by coming here to other classes, I won't let this, my agenda or my own set of rules, going to take me to the wrong places. Another point of finding the truth is choosing the right environment, choosing the right friends, choosing the right temple. One of the reasons that we gather here in the classes or in the temple is that communication with the Creator is not there anymore. When we had the Beit HaMikdash, when we had the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, there was no temples. There was no temples not in Israel or anywhere else in the world. The only temple we had was the Holy of the Holies in Jerusalem, because there was a direct connection. Anybody had an issue, had a problem, go to the temple and you find your solution. You find the solution for the issue. Now, because we don't have the Holy Temple anymore, and we don't have the connection we had before, we must have this Bet Knesset, we must have these temples, so we can gather around each other. We can have an environment, we can have a friends, we can have a teacher, we can have a classmate. Why? It's like check and balance. I have this idea, I learned some lessons, find out about this philosophy. How do I know if it's true or not? How do I know if it's correct or not? By coming to the right environment, by having friends, by having members. Those members, those friends can, check us, can tell us what's wrong and what's right about us. A good environment. If I'm a lonely person, you know what, I pray at home, I meditate, I talk to my own God, that's totally wrong. The Kabbalists are totally against it. Because our own mind can take us to a very dark, negative, wrong places. We need to be in the right environment. We need to talk to our friends. We need to share, we need to be open and talk to our friends and members in order to hear the truth, to find the truth. Like I said, they could find out the truth in a holy mountain, in a Holy of the Holies. But today, since we don't have the Holy of the Holies, the truth is hidden within our environment. Like Amirjan always says, messages and confirmations and dreams and visions. So one way to find the truth about myself, about our life, is by communicating, by sharing, by being open to friends and members within my good environment I choose. I can never find the truth about myself on my own. It's only you're going to find it only by communication. But people that should trust the good environment, of course. The environment there is Torah in it. There is a Zohar and Kabbalah in it. Rabbi Ashlag has a beautiful sentence. He says, the only freedom we have is choosing environment. That's a very powerful sentence. He says, the only freedom we have is choosing environment. So obviously, if we choose the environment that our fathers and grandfathers and all the way back to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov choose, so we are in the right path, we are in the right track. But if we get too smart and we are too modern and I have my own image and we live in Hollywood, so Hollywood image, then I'm going away, I'm running away from the right environment that was meant for me. The right environment is a good friend that I can expose myself. Only my friends, only my community members can tell me the truth about myself. Also, Rabbi Ashlag says another beautiful thing, that he says we constantly being influenced. That's a conversation we had before the class. We're constantly being influenced by our environment, and we are also influencing our environment. So again, it's very important what environment you're choosing, what I'm being influenced of, and whatever knowledge that I have, how do I influence others about it? There is another beautiful sentence from Rabbi Ashlag. He says, every one of us obligated to receive his needs from the society and environment, and also share his work with the society and the environment. Again, I'm going to repeat. He says, we all obligated to receive what we need from the right environment, and we also, the work, the gift, the knowledge, the abilities that I have, I'm obligated to share it with my environment. And Rabbi Ashlag says something scary and painful. He says, if we don't do that, then the nature or the universe is going to punish us. So we are obligated to receive from the environment and also give to the environment. We cannot isolate ourselves. Isolation is the worst enemy of a spiritual person. Where is it coming from? Because if we go back to the original creation, we were all one. We were all one. We came from one soul. We are all united in one body, in one consciousness. So we are part of that original creation. I cannot isolate myself. If I believe I should go to a different country, live in a mountain, or I pray on my own, or I don't need my kenisa, I don't need my class, I don't need my spiritual friends, I will never find out the truth about myself. Isolation is a big enemy of finding the truth. And there is many reasons for isolation: anger and hate, and I know more, I know better than you guys, and I'm wiser, I don't need your help. So, and isolation is another word for selfishness. What Rabbi Ashlag trying to say, if you're selfish, if you don't care about the environment, if you don't want to receive and give, the nature is going to punish you. That's the whole concept of Bet Knesset. What's Bet Knesset? It's a gathering place. We want to give and receive. We want to share and care for others. So this isolation is not only if I pray at home or if I have my own belief system. The Kabbalists explain, we can be in this class and isolate ourselves. We can be in this class and be on the phone. That's isolation. The Kabbalah says a husband and wife living in the same house, they're together 24/7, but they could be isolated. They're not open to each other. There is no communication. When we're talking about isolation, there is nobody there to check you. There is no quality control on you. We came very far with the study of Kabbalah. We desperately need messages. We desperately need communication. Even children, not necessarily our teacher or a huge spiritual leader. We have to open ourselves. We have to expose ourselves in order to get this check and balance, in order for others to give us messages. The right environment, healthy environment. What's a healthy environment? Thank you. Environment that's seeking the truth. There is growth in it. There is transformation in it. Baruch Hashem, I don't want to talk about our center. There's so much growth. There is so much transformation, so much desire to know the truth. So, even if I come to the class or even if I come to the temple, I can still isolate myself by not talking, by not communicating, by not opening myself, by not sharing my understanding and knowledge, by not being open, even to criticism, even to things that I don't want to hear. So isolation and being into myself, and I don't want to talk about my issues, and I don't want to learn, and I know better, is the biggest enemy of a spiritual person. One of the lessons of spirituality is that you must have a teacher. Everybody must have a teacher. Because it's somebody that can check and balance you, somebody that can reflect on you, somebody that loves you and want to put you in the direction of the truth. Every single person has a teacher. The biggest spiritual leader that, I don't know, he lives in the Kotel in Jerusalem, he has a teacher also. So you must have a teacher in order to show you the path to the truth. By exposing ourselves, by communicating, I get a clarity for my truth path. Again, this is an important sentence. By communicating, by exposing, and some religion, they really picked on it very well, that each time they make a sin or they do something wrong and they go expose it. So, by exposing, by talking, by communicating, by being broken, we're going to give us a chance to find the true path. Again, Yitro, if Yitro did it, and the price for what he did was that they named this portion after him, we can do it too. Two major cause for isolation is anger and fear. Angry people, they isolate themselves because they don't want to talk, they don't want to listen, they don't want to communicate. Is my way or the highway? And fear is also a major isolation because we don't want to change ourselves. We don't want to come out of our comfort zone. We don't want to change our image. Anger and fear is, I'm above you guys. I know better than you guys. There are some people that they isolate themselves. They said, no, I have my own God, I have my own wisdom, I have my own messages, I have my own dreams, I have my own understanding. Kabbalah and spirituality is huge in messages and confirmations and dreams and visions. This lesson of the Zohar this week was amazing. He says, be aware. Amrjun, you're going to love this. He says, be aware. The Satan also gives you messages. The Satan also gives you confirmation. The Satan also gives you dreams and visions. So be aware. That's why you need the healthy, good environment so they can check on you. You know, to see these messages that I get, these ideas that I have, is it from the light or is it from the Satan? So, you know, unless we give and take, unless we communicate, unless we share, unless we have conversation, we won't find the truth. We won't find the truth. The biggest truth I find about my journey or my path is through talking to friends. And not necessarily somebody wiser, smarter, or spiritual than you, to everybody. Be open to communicate with everybody. Anger is excuse for isolation. So we have to be aware that anger, for any reasons, is an excuse for isolation. So after this class, I want you to sit with yourself. You know, honestly, if you're going to take one thing home today, is reflect on yourself. In which way I isolate myself? In which way I don't want to communicate? In what area in my life I don't want to share and talk? And probably that subject or that limitation that I put for myself, that isolation I created for myself, don't let me to find the truth about my life, about my future. If I'm locked in certain ideas, if I'm locked in certain belief system, there is no way I'm going to find my true path. You know, so many times, you know, we talk about sickness and God forbid death, that if you truly believe in sickness and you're locked in this idea that somebody is sick or there is no cure for it, then honestly there is no cure for it. But if you stop being isolated and give a try to change your belief system, that there is a way, there is a truth behind this challenge that I have, then I'm going to find the truth behind this challenge and I'm going to find a solution for it. Being locked and isolated is the biggest enemy of finding the truth. Exposing, I'm going to repeat this sentence many times again. Exposing yourself is opening the path to fulfillment, to joy, to happiness. And the true opening is communication. I mean, look at your life, you know, whatever you reach, whatever you achieve in your life is by communicating, by talking, by exposing yourself, by sharing your needs. And also influencing others is opens ways of understanding. Communication comes down to many things: inspiring people, being positive all the time, growing, you know, helping others to grow, helping others to transformation. Sometimes it's painful, but this is the path to find the truth about ourselves. Let's now go to a deeper Kabbalah. I mean, we have some time, so we're going to go to a deeper Kabbalah. Who is Moshe? Who's Yitro? Moshe is the reincarnation of Hevel. You know, originally in Gan Eden, in heaven, when Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Hevel. Moshe is the reincarnation of Hevel, and Yitro is one aspect of reincarnation of Cain that killed Hevel. Cain. So, and they're coming back. They're reincarnating to this part of the story. And one of the reasons that Cain killed Hevel because he was jealous of his wife. You know, they were born with their own soulmates. I know it doesn't make sense, but, you know, have some patience. And one of the reasons Cain killed Hevel was because his wife. And this time around, in this Torah portion, I advise you, read the Torah, listen to the Hebrew words that the Torah uses. When Yitro bringing his daughter. You know that Moshe married Yitro's wife, Tzipporah, Yitro's daughter. When Yitro bringing Tzipporah to Moshe, he doesn't say, I brought my daughter to you. He said, I bring your wife to you. And if you pay attention to the Torah writing, in a secret way, Yitro calls Moshe my brother. So we know that Yitro is the brother of Moshe that killed originally him because of his wife. This time around he's doing the tikkun, the correction. He's giving back his wife to him. And why? And the Zohar explained what happened to Yitro. What's this awakening all of a sudden? You have it all. You are Kohen of the dark force. You owns all the magics. You remember Moshe killed this Egyptian in Egypt? That was the negative aspect of Cain. The totally dark part of Cain. So the moment there was a correction between Moshe and that negative part, when that negative part leaves Yitro, because they were connected in soul, the Yitro has this awakening. And he realized that, this is not the right path for him. I'm telling you the story because I want to get to a very good point. Who's this Yitro? Who's this Yitro in our own life? If you play around with the words, the same letters is come to Yoter. If you just move the Vav, Yitro become Yoter. Yoter in Hebrew means more. Remember the beginning of the class I said Yitro had to convert and bring all the millions of people with him in order for us to receive the Torah? Yitro is part of our consciousness that still doesn't have the true emunah, doesn't have the true certainty about the Torah and Judaism and Kabbalah and the Creator. All of us, I know, we are wonderful students. We are following all the rules. But there is some part in our consciousness that we still find a shortcut, maybe to get angry, maybe to get hurtful. You know what? I come to Kenisa, I come to the class, I practice Kabbalah, I pray, meditation, and I do it all. But you know what? When it comes to my partner, when it comes to business, I still want to cheat a little, I still want to lie a little, I'm still angry, I'm some uncle or cousin. So, Yitro means Yoter. This week, in order to receive the energy of immortality, in order to receive this awesome energy of truth, we have to convert that part of our conscious that's still doing what's wrong, still doing what is dark. Are we clear? Do we understand what we're talking about here? So in Hebrew they call it ger. Ger, they call it ger. Ger means foreigner in Hebrew, means foreigner. I'm Jewish, I keep Shabbat, I follow all the rules, but there is still some foreigner ideas in my head. I still, maybe, don't follow the rules. I find shortcuts. I still judge. You know what? I do all the good things, but I still enjoy the Lashon Hara. I still enjoy that evil speech. So this portion, this wonderful story, this wonderful class, I want to bring you to the conclusion. If there is still any foreign ideas, if still there is any wrong ideas in our head, if we transform it, if we more, Yitro is Yoter, more. If 50% of my consciousness is following the spirituality, and the other 50 is still a foreigner, is still going after the dark side, I need to convert it to the light system. More, Yoter means more. there is no end. I mean, don't have this illusion that there is one day we're going to be 100% light and following Moshe and the Torah. But constantly, we're trying to transform more and more. More from the dark side that I have to the positive side I have. I'm sure, including myself on a daily basis, this wisdom is amazing. But we have our own comfort zone that we still want to judge and be angry, and we enjoy the ego, and we enjoy the jealousy, and we practicing the negative side. So the whole purpose of this class, more, this stranger that within our head, bring him more toward the light. Let's get to the fun part of the night, which is the Ilanut. I promise you what's going on with Ilanut. Every year, the holiday of Ilanut falls within the portion of Yitro. It couldn't be 2 weeks ago, it couldn't be next month. Why Ilanut is falling within portion of Yitro, the 10 Commandments? What's the connection? Do you know in the 10 Commandments that we are receiving this week, how many do's we have and how many don'ts we have? You know, it says, Lo tignov, don't kill, don't steal, don't be jealous. Do you know how many do's and don'ts we have?
6 and 4.
We have 3. We have 3 do's and we have 7 don't. We have 3 do and 7 don't. How many fruits we are supposed to eat in Ilanut?
7.
7. Where those 7 fruits supposed to come from? Israel. So the 10 Sefirot, they call it tree of life, right? This is the tree of life. And where is the tree of life? Is within Israel. Is within the consciousness of Israel, within the consciousness of light and goodness. So we have 2 types of trees in our planet. We have trees that doesn't have a fruit, and we have trees that they do have a fruit. So the trees that they don't have a fruit, they're good for giving shade and other purposes. But the trees that they have a fruit is the blessing, is the barakah, is the secret of immortality, continuation of a result, of a good result. Fruit in our life means barakah, blessing, continuation. There is a fruit to our hard work. There is a fruit to our purpose in life. So, if we follow the story of the Torah, we left Egypt. The Pharaoh is not controlling us. We are free, but we are empty. We are just tree without a fruit. By studying the Torah, by receiving the 10 Commandments, by receiving the Torah, by eating this fruit, by bringing it to our life, then our life is going to be fruitful. Then our life is going to have a blessing and barakah, and continuation, immortality, continuation. So, the 3 do's are the top 3. And the 7 fruits that we eat, that is the don't commandments, are the lower 7. So, I know we have a beautiful tradition, we eat the fruit, but what does it mean to eat the fruit? Just eating the fruit going to change my life? In a very small level, but I want to bring this fruit, the 10 commandments, or the 7 don't do command, that you have to stay away, that's going to bring me the fruit in my life. Let me explain really fast what those fruits are. And we're going to start from the Yesod. We're going to start from Zer and Pim, the top 6. The first fruit I want to bring to my life is the Emet, is the truth. Without the truth, without knowing the truth, where am I going? If I follow movies in my head, if I follow wrong philosophy, like many empires followed through the history and they are disappeared. So where is it going to take me? If I eat the fruit of the truth, Baruch Hashem, our nation survived so many years, so many challenges, because we have this fruit. So the first move I make is to bring the fruit of truth to my life. And the only truth we know comes from the Torah. The next fruit is hod, is tzmimut, is being simple, simpleness. I know we don't have that much time, so I'm going to go through them really fast. By being simple, no sneaky, no cheating, and no lying. Simple, like Aharon Kohen Gadol, Tamim. You remember when the Torah talks about the Noach and the whole world got distracted. The only reason that Noach survived because he was Ish Tamim, he was a simple person. The next fruit is certainty. Last week we talked the whole class about certainty, having a certainty and trust into this system, in the Torah, in this path. The next fruit is tiferet, having this balance and beauty and mercy, and rachamim in Hebrew, for all humanity. Rachamim, mercy, for all humanity. This is the fruit I want to eat and bring to my life. The next fruit is gevurah, is having the strength, being strong, to control our ego, to control our judging, to control the Pharaoh, the negative side. And the next fruit is chesed, love. We want to eat, we want to bring to our life this love and kindness. And the last fruit, after I achieve this, we want to bring the fruit of, humility, shaflut, of furutan in Farsi, shaflut. Sometimes we said first we have to be we have to be how you say humility. Humbleness. I think I have like 3 languages at the same time in my head. So many says we have to bring humbleness first. No, humbleness is actually last. Humbleness is the vessel for this light. If I'm humble, humbleness can take me to wrong places. I'm humble for different wisdom and understanding. But after I bring this light of truth, of simple, certainty, beauty and balance and mercy and strength and love, then I have the light to use it in order to have the right vessel, a humble vessel and person.
The last one was malchut, right?
Malchut is to be humble. And what are the do's? That's the 3 fruits. That's the 7 fruits that don't. What are those 3, the top ones? The first one says, Anochi Hashem. The Kabbalists explain this, to be involved with the Torah. To be involved with the Torah. We said the fastest route to happiness and fulfillment is the truth. The only truth and emet we know is the Torah. So the do's are to do the Torah. The second one is to remember and keep Shabbat. We had a class about Shabbat. Shabbat is about letting go of all this craziness that we experience on the 6 days. Don't forget the 7th day, the Shabbat, is part of the creation too. The Creator created the world in 6 days, and he says on the 7 days the Creator rested. It's still part of the creation. If we don't believe in Shabbat, if we don't follow Shabbat, that means we don't believe in the creation. There is one sentence about Shabbat. He says, if you forget about Shabbat, Shabbat's going to forget about you. So, what was the word in the Torah when the God created the 7-day Shabbat? The last word he uses is Vainafash. Vav, Yud, and Nefesh. Nefesh is our body, is our vessel.